100. The century mark. Dun, dun, dun.
Who would have thought
407 weeks ago
that a couple of kids from Brooklyn could have started this podcast?
Look at the kid from Brooklyn. It's on a podcast. Look where he is today.
Oh, they got fancy microphones. Let's give him a show.
He's nowhere. Yeah. Where's your Messiah now?
While I wish you were here in the building
to
too. Do this show with me.
Me too. I do.
I'm glad you're not. It would have been nice. I mean, it's not like I didn't push you all the time.
I know, but I'm a busy man. I'm inventing things.
Right. I mean, what's your latest patent? It's been like 20, 30 years.
I'm working on it. My next patent's going to be, here's what I'm working on.
All right, tell me.
It's not really a patent. It's a business opportunity. I think what would be really good for bowling.
Aerotine Industries?
Aerotine Industries.
Aerotine.
It's a small Midwest company.
Aerotine.
It's a small Midwest company that specializes in what was it? Radar? Was it radar?
Civilian and civilian and military radar equipment. They're out of the Midwest.
Right. Out of the Midwest. So here's what I think. The industry is ripe for an organization of bowlers that travel week to week and bowl tournaments in different cities for money.
Like a tour.
Yeah. I think the industry is ripe for that. And I think we can have that. I'm working on a concept.
Okay.
And hopefully it'll be picked up by network TVs, stations to televise it so we could watch it and everybody could enjoy it from their own home.
I hope it gets picked up on Univision. That'd be great because those announcers would be so much better than what's out there now.
I never even heard of that.
You don't know what Univision is?
No.
Oh, that's like probably the number 2 rated channel in Southern California.
Anyway, I think that's my new idea. It's a new concept I have.
So it's not a plan; it's just a concept of a plan.
Well, no, I think I think it'll come to fruition. I think it could happen. It would be very popular. I could see it following like sporting events. It goes on TV right after them or right before. People tune in. You have announcers talking about bowling. It'd be pretty good.
People know what I'm talking about. Univision 17.
Never heard of it.
That's right.
See, there you go.
They know.
They know. So what's happening? The 100th anniversary show. We got a lot of good things going on. We have some new things we're bringing.
New giveaway vessel.
A new giveaway vessel, right.
We got some news. We got some top news. Not even a top 5. We have a top 7 today.
Top 7, right? Today's the top 7. We're going to give away prizes throughout the show. That may be a new thing we do going forward this year.
Could be.
Keeps people more interested, doesn't it? Oh,
possibly.
It's going to pick my name. I got to be in it.
Gotta watch.
And we're going to cut that time down to 60 seconds.
60 seconds. Oh,
yeah,
man. You guys better be on it.
90. You better be on it because we can't keep waiting if we're going to keep doing it throughout the show.
Yeah, so, don't ruin it.
Don't ruin it.
I got some housekeeping stuff.
Yeah, do that Woo Box.
Post the Woo Box.
Today's an important day for the Woo Box. I think we're going to give away a couple of prizes throughout the show today. Yeah. You posted the Woo Box already?
Yeah, the Woo Box in there.
Yeah, you know the rules, folks. You put your name in. Somewhere throughout the show, we're going to pick a name. You're going to have 60 seconds to let us know you're in. And then we're going to twirl the box, the ball of balls.
And how do we know, Phil? How do we know what they're going to win?
Because each ball has a number, 1 through 75.
There it is, right there. And we'll post it up when we do these things as well.
As you noticed, based on last year, we had a very expensive marketing budget we went through. So we have now changed the percentages, but we're going to give away more prizes.
That's
So
right.
I think it's like 1 in 37 to 1 chance that you're gonna 37.5 chance you're gonna win. But after the first drawing, if 2 balls come out, they stay out. And
Yeah,
the
we're
ball
gonna leave them out.
number
And I
goes
just want to
up.
make everybody know that I have the 75 ball right here, so we're not withholding it.
He's gonna put it in his pocket.
Yeah, I'm gonna palm it, and then we're gonna put it right down into.
Make believe it's in there. Oh,
there it goes.
How do I know that your hand was out of the camera? Nice touch. I like how you did that.
I guess we're just gonna have to go off the honor system here, aren't we?
That's right. And in there is that ball. Nick will let's do a practice spin and show you what happens. Nick will twirl the box, the ball.
I gotta mix them up first.
Very loud. That is so annoying. Yeah, perfect. All right, that's good. They're mixed.
All right.
All right, and then one comes out, and the winner is
B9.
Number 9. That is a grip sack.
Grip sack.
And the person that got the grip sack says, "No, I don't want it." But he's in the show. He's 60 seconds. We give him another twirl, and guess what happens? He spins it again, and
35
what comes out? 35 chamois. Now those twos would stay out, and then throughout the show, we will pick a couple other winners.
Should we just leave them out right now?
No.
Put them back in.
I got budget to make up.
All right, back in the pot. All right, that'll go away for now.
Yep.
Everybody sees.
So you know the Woo Box rules. You put your name in. Nick picks a name. Give you 60 seconds. You tell us you're here. We'll give that little bingo wheel, what do they call it? A bingo basket. The bingo basket a spin. The ball comes out, and you get a prize.
Yeah, people are saying that you lost too much money. Yeah, we went from a fun educational program on a monthly basis to a very expensive weekly endeavor.
But it is.
You got it. Does anybody remember when we first introduced the wheel? Because I do, because I follow these things because it's my thing. But it's been out there a lot longer than I thought.
Yeah,
we introduced this thing on episode 29.
29.
It might have been before that even. That was the first time we advertised we had it. So I'm going to guess that's when we had it. But, Phil kept saying that the wheel's rigged. And you know what? And it might be.
You want to do a practice spin to prove it?
Wait, let's see if it lands on 3-ball Arsenal again,
Yeah, there we go.
We'll see. But, yeah. The odds weren't odding up.
They did not up.
Look, it keeps getting drawn to the 3-ball Arsenal no matter what I do.
Yeah. And then we talked about it a little bit. And then we're not being cheap. We're just kidding around today. And if it works out, we'll keep it. But percentage wise, a ball on the wheel had the same chance of winning as a chamois or a grip sack or a pair of shoes. So it got expensive. No, that's not the reason we did it. I'm teasing. We just wanted to change it up today because it's the 100th anniversary, and we're going to give away some more prizes. So there may be more grip sacks and chamois going out, but you never know. You never know.
Never know when we're going to call out the names.
So today we're going to talk about some news, and then we'll just talk about what memorable moments we had throughout the year.
What we learned, all our experience, our observations.
7. Yeah, and then we'll just chat a little bit. And then
we'll start
the next 100.
That's what we do. It's a podcast. Right. That's what we do. We chat.
Podcast, the next 100. So let's talk about the news.
Let's talk about the news. Let me get the intro going here.
Yeah, good idea.
It's the striking news. Bowling news and views from around the world with your hosts, Brunsnick and Phil Cardinelli. It's the striking news.
So it's a lot going on in bowling, and one of the topics this week, aside from the one we talked about last week, where snitches get stitches, this week's topic is PBA with TV. Their contract is up, and as far as we know, there is not another contract in place. So
they would have announced that.
They would have announced that already, right? So this week you had the Hall of Fame dinner. Tom Clark spoke at the Hall of Fame dinner, and he was also on a podcast. So I'm going to read you some of the excerpts out of the podcast and his speech or his presentation at the Hall of Fame dinner, and then you tell me, Nick, and those watching,
mainly their fans, everybody in the chat.
Yeah,
let us
everybody
know.
in the chat. And let me know how you feel about this. Are you got a woman fuzzy or are you Arctic? Here's what he said. We're in the middle of negotiating with everybody. He said this on the show, the Heidel show. I guess that's the guy's name. There's nothing to report yet. I am more confident more than ever that there will be a landing place. There will be a professional rollers tour. It'll be fun to watch and follow. And so at least I feel good about that because we're going through all these types of negotiations. You look at every possible scenario. Are you feeling any warmer?
I'm actually gonna.
Yeah, pull that up there. Yeah. You got the hoodie. I like that. Good touch.
Yeah.
Good touch. That's good. I like that. It's like a little prop.
Yeah.
Go get the coat.
Getting cold.
Get the coat and gloves.
I think there's I think there's a blanket. Go on.
And I do think that at the end of the day, we're going to be okay. It has taken longer than we wanted. Yes, it's going to be okay. And is it the way would have drawn it up? Probably not. But it's still going to be okay. And that's what's important for everybody to know. I have more. There's plenty of interest. There's so many more platforms now than ever before. And a lot of them are really emerging.
Shiver.
Yeah. Clark talked about how the boom in streaming has changed so much since he negotiated the first deal with Fox back in 2018.
It's booming.
Yeah. So that was the first thing that he did on a podcast. Now, at the Hall of Fame dinner, he spoke to the players. He said, there are platforms out there that are very interested in us that want to sign on a dotted line right now. That will guarantee there will be a PBA tour in 2026 and that you guys are going to be able to compete in. And all the people at home are going to be able to know it's going to happen. And we're going to be on platforms, plural. Maybe that brings us into homes, maybe in some different ways. And ways that are other than the more traditional ways. It's going to work out. And I wouldn't be telling you that if I didn't believe it. And it's been hard to say that this year because there has been a lot of uncertainty. I'm saying it to you right now. We're going to be back in 2026.
In what capacity?
How warm and fuzzy did that make you feel about TVA? I'm pissed.
I'm going to go out and get my PBA card again. I feel like this is a rebirth now where I can jumpstart my career again.
Exactly. I'm pissed because we paid product registration for the whole year.
Sucker. But right? You knew they were only going to be on for 6 months.
No. They said we only have this much time with Fox, but we should have known, and we did know. We knew because when they pulled back on the PBA league up in Portland, Maine, and said they couldn't do it in September like they always did, it was because their TV ran out in June.
Yeah, kind of a problem.
Yeah. So here's some repercussions. Ready? Here's some of them. So what value does a PBA have to manufacturers if there's no TV?
Reduced.
People in the chat, what do you think?
Anybody?
Right? Anybody? Right? Bueller?
So ideally, if you have a product that's on TV,
right,
and then the next year you're not on TV, should the product be worth the same?
Okay, no. In my opinion, as a businessman, and this is a business, it's not a hobby, it's a business. They weren't valuable last year. How much more valuable or how much less valuable are they now?
say
I think it's significant.
Hypothetically, what's more important? Is it viewership, or is it that it's being on TV? Are they weighted the same, viewership on TV, cable versus streaming? Is it 1 for 1?
Cable is worse than network, and streaming is worse than cable.
Because they only have, what, 5 shows on Fox, right? Or what it did.
Yeah, but
majors,
FS1, right? But FS1 had
FS1's
shows,
cable.
right?
That's cable.
Yeah, it's cable, right? Yeah, so
But
network had 5, maybe 5. Was it 5?
I think there's 5 majors, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So FS1 became the next thing down, and it was probably 6 on FS1, maybe. Okay.
Okay.
So now we're going to go from FS1 to streaming. Well, what would you consider Bowl TV? That's streaming, right?
That's streaming, yeah.
Okay. So how many hundreds of thousands of viewers are there on? Wait, hundreds of thousands of viewers are on.
Hundreds.
Hundreds of viewers are on streaming.
And I don't know the numbers. And I don't know the numbers.
I don't know the numbers either. I can't even tell you how many. But it's not hundreds of thousands.
No.
Okay. What's my return on investment? Now I got to put a value on that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If I took all that money and stuck it in the bank and got a 4% return on investment, that's greater than I'm going to get on streaming.
That's greater than you would have got this year on national TV.
Probably right. What does it do to the prize funds? So now what do the players do?
Yeah.
I mean, without product registration, or if that goes down, because what are we paying for to be registered, to be on what? You know, they said, oh, you know, your ball's on TV and all the viewers get to see it. That's product registration. Okay, now if it's on streaming.
Okay, now it's not.
Now it's not. Right.
So what's it worth?
What is it worth? So what happens to the money that if the prize fund, we don't product register, all the manufacturers don't have that product registration at the same level. What does the prize funds do? Here's another one. Do they keep the holy grail of the all exempt tour now, or if the prize funds are so bad, or do you open it up and allow 400 bowlers to bowl every week if there's that many, where the prize funds at least will increase?
I think if they don't have a TV deal, streaming is worth 20 cents on the dollar.
You're just guessing with that, right? I mean,
I'm just throwing a number. It's like,
I'm saying, right? You're just winging it. Okay, let's say 20 cents on a dollar, right? Okay, so now they get 20% rather than 100% of product registration,
right? And it could be 0.
Well, here's the problem: if you stream, do you have production costs like you have right now? You know, here's what it used to be when ABC had it, not the American Bowling Congress, the American Broadcasting Company had bowling on. They paid the PBA $170,000 ish a week. They paid the PBA a week to broadcast the PBA tour. Then when they lost that and went to ESPN, it was a lesser number. Then it became the PBA had to pay for production costs.
Right. Yeah.
They had to pay the production costs to put it on TV.
That was ultimately the start of the downfall right there, was getting off of ABC, going to ESPN.
That's exactly right.
And
so
it
now
was
they're
on
ESPN.
It was on ESPN, yeah.
And they're paying. PBA is paying. Now they're paying. They're still paying for production costs. So maybe the production costs go away, but we were paying the production costs through product registration. That's what we were paying for them to produce a TV show.
Yeah, money wasn't coming from dues.
Right. How much does it cost to produce a show on streaming? I mean, you've watched the streams. They're not nearly as technically advanced and crisp as the
no, because they're using consumer cameras for that kind of stuff.
I don't know anything about that, but you're right. Yeah.
They're not using broadcast cameras. It's stuff that you and I can go buy at Best Buy.
Unless they decide to do their own. So let's say a streaming company hooks up with them, and I don't know much about that.
There could be some broadcast-worthy streaming platforms out there that they're discussing. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Say they are talking to everybody. I don't know all the streaming out there that can handle such a thing. That's not kind of, rudimentary or just kind of low-key.
So let's do an arbitrary situation. Brunswick Streaming Company approaches the PBA and said, "We're going to broadcast your shows, right? Okay, and we're going to do it for free. You're not going to pay us. We're not going to pay you. We're going to base it off of viewership. People are going to have to pay to stream it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to base it. That's how they're going to earn their income.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have X quality equipment. How? And I don't know, Matt. I'm asking, do you have equipment that's comparable to what a network would have? If you're a streaming company, you do not.
I don't think so.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe
definitely not what like Fox or even ESPN has for
you
their
wouldn't have
television
it, right?
broadcast.
So it would be a lesser quality program, but it would be on TV, and it might be on 5 nights a week. I don't know, right?
They could stream the entire week. I don't know. They tried doing that with Flow Bowling before, and they kind of do that with Bowl TV now. Yeah. You know.
So how many people, and people tuning in and watching right now, comment, would you pay for that service? And how many people do you, and you guys can guess as well in the chat, how many people do you guess would in the world would pay for that?
We have 300 people in the chat. How many pay for Bowl TV right now? Like, that's a good question right there.
Right.
Because that's the one that exists currently. How many actually pay for Bowl TV and watch the content? I don't know what Bowl TV costs per month. I'm not sure, but
I don't either.
It might be $20 a month, $12. I don't know what it costs. If somebody can help me out there.
Right.
A lot of people say, nope, yep, nope, I don't, I do, I don't.
Yeah.
Nope,
See, so
nope,
it's not like everybody. Yes, and these are bowling fans. These are people that are bowling people.
I mean we have the best podcast. I mean, they give away stuff. They give away stuff on Bowl TV, but not Free Ball Arsenals.
You get the autographed Belmo vape.
$15 per month. That's what it is. Yeah. What did you say? The autographed Belmo vape?
Yeah.
The alleged.
Or the T-shirts.
At 18 a month. Oh.
So now, do they get rid of the exempt field and open it up?
Say they have to make it. Yeah. Say they have to make it up. Like,
it's a lot of money.
Yeah. Do they add more stops and then increase or just unlimited entries?
Well, every time you go to a stop, you have to set up again, don't you?
Yeah. Maybe they can just stay in Reno for a month.
That'll never work. So do you have an exempt? Don't have an exempt field anymore. You open the field up. So that would increase their prize fund. But let me tell you what. It's multi-millions that they get from the manufacturers.
Yeah.
From product registration. Where's that going to come from?
I don't know. That's the thing. From an exempt tour, I don't see where it comes from.
So reading what Tom Clark had to say over the last couple of days, I do not have a warm and fuzzy feeling other than the fact that there will be a tour which no one can see, or you can only see it on
a paywall.
Was that what they call it? Paywall? I like when you tell me these new words. I learn this stuff. Paywall.
Yeah, it's behind a paywall.
Behind a paywall. So the average guy is home from work. It's on Tuesday night, 7:30. He ain't watching it.
The worst possible thing they can do, and I want to put this out there to all the executives at PBA, is do not host your show on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern. You will get crushed in the Nielsen ratings.
Nielsen ratings.
Because we're going to run over all your viewership because we do our show for free. We don't hide behind a paywall. We give away stuff, and we're going to give away something here. How about right now?
How about right now? Let's do the first one.
Hold on. I'm going to put the woo box in there one more time just so everybody has it. But we're going to I'm going to pick a name here, and then we're going to just go, and we're going to see.
Pick a name. First guy. This is the first guy of the 100th show, Perception versus Reality show. The 100th first guy chosen is
the first. Here we go. We're going to bring this out here. Hey, this name sounds familiar. It must be a friend of mine. Eddie Myers. He's got his YouTube handle and they're Dead Polymers. You're in the chat. Check in. You got 60 seconds.
Eddie, you're not even going to post the names anymore. Are you just going to yell them out? Eddie Myers?
Yep, Eddie Myers.
All right, Eddie Myers. I got to put a clock on, don't I?
I'm looking at it. It was at like 40 seconds. Yeah.
I got to get on the line.
40. Dead polymers, you hear? Dead polymers. Dead polymers. I'm going to get our little cool bingo stream thing up here. Get rid
You're watching the clock?
I see him. He's there. Yeah, he's
all right. There. Eddie, you're the first guy. I'm going to tell you right now, Nick.
Yeah.
If 75 comes up right now, I'm pulling the plug on the show. I'm pulling the plug on the show.
This is great. So are they just getting one ball or do they get a go back?
No, he gets a second choice. Yeah, we're not in a hurry today.
So from here on out, the bingo balls that come out, they do not
stay
go back
out.
in.
They stay out. They don't go back in. Watch, that 75 comes out now.
I'm going to cover the mic so it's not as loud for you.
If 75 comes out now, we have no viewers.
I know, because they're all going to leave. Ready?
Yeah, ready. And there it is. The first ball is... No.
64.
That's a good one.
Ball cup.
All right. You want the ball cup?
64. Do you want to keep the ball cup? It's a Hammer or Brunswick ball cup. I'm going to put the bingo balls there.
Got the ball spin. It's got the ball bearings on it too, right?
Yeah, they're really,
it's a good
they're
one.
really
They're
nice.
really good.
It's not just a little plastic cup. It's got the ball bearings.
I think I might have one after I make my trip to Muskegon next time.
Hey, you are going to be out here in a couple weeks. Dead polymers. Eddie, what do you want? You want to keep?
Do it. Keep it or go.
Where are you at? Try again, please. Okay. He doesn't.
All right, here we go. Well, we took the ball cup. One ball cup out. Here we go.
Ball cup's out. That was a good one. All right. Let's give it a little bit of... Here, let me cover the mic so it's not as loud.
All right.
30.
Oh, another good one. You get the chamois.
Chamois.
The chamois for Eddie. Eddie with the chamois. All right. So that's how it's going to look. Anyway.
Eddie Chamois.
His name. Yeah.
I'm just going to make a note so that when I email everybody after the show.
That's right.
I lost my mouse. Where'd it go? There it is. I need that mouse.
So anyhow, that was an interesting take on what went on this last week about the PBA, because it's a big topic, and the manufacturers are concerned. How about international players? Do they really come over and bowl?
I mean, if it's not exempt, if there's no PTQ, I would say there's going to be some players that come out here full time.
Okay.
And get a visa or whatever they got to get to come out here and bowl on tour.
So one way to get the better bowlers here is to not have it exempt.
Yeah, 100%. Open
it
up.
We realize the better bowlers don't always live in this country, didn't we?
Yeah, they made it known because they won.
Did they win all of the? Did they win? Was it international? Won all of the animals?
Series?
Yeah.
It was. I don't. There was 2 for sure. I'm not sure all the rest of them.
Oh, it was more than 2. It was more than 2. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what I have for news. I mean, it was not a very warm feeling. I'll be sad if it goes away because we're going to struggle if it does. We're not going to have any news every week. They are the #1 supplier of news for the Perception versus Reality podcast.
We need the PBA
to
be successful. We're going to run out of topics and we're not going to have anything current to talk about. But to be fair, I mean, 6 months out of the year, we don't really have a whole lot to talk about because they're not doing anything.
That's right.
So
I agree.
Yeah.
That's the news.
That is the news. Everybody in for the giveaway, because we posted the link twice. I'll post it again just so everybody has it. We want to make sure everybody gets their bingo fix in today.
Yeah, put your name in. Somebody asked how to get the name in the drawing. If it's your first time on the show,
welcome.
Yeah, welcome. And then secondly, just put your name in the woo box.
And yes, I could see comments from Facebook. I could see comments from YouTube. We see it all. So someone asked that in the chat there, so we can see you.
I can't. Or can I? Oh yeah, I can. Yeah,
you can. Just strolling right along.
I am. We just moved on. So you put your name in, and then throughout the show, we'll pick out another winner out of so.
Yeah, we got 2 numbers already out, 64, 30.
Right.
And someone's like, oh, why don't you update your chart? You know how hard that would be to update in real time? Stop it.
Wait, there's still many grip sacks and chamois left to give away.
Trust me. There's plenty.
There's plenty.
It's not like Deal or No Deal where we can just have the board automated, but maybe in the future when our production budget, when I actually get a production budget to work with.
We had a production budget. You gave it away.
Yeah, we gave away in the form of 9 3-ball arsenals over the last 70
episodes. Right. We gave away 9 3. How many bowling balls did we give away in the 70 episodes?
Since we started the wheel, we gave away 9 3-ball arsenals and 18 individual balls, radical balls. So that is a grand total of
27
45.
and 18, 45. So we had 70 shows and we gave a bowling ball away.
Nearly
equivalent. Yeah. A 45 out of the 70 was the ratio.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't 45 balls given 45 winning every time. It was 9 of them got 3 balls. So
sure.
Now, if you want, call the guys up that got the 3 balls to see if they'll share with you guys.
Well, there was one. I remember they asked for a couple of different weights because they wanted to gift a couple. I was like, that's cool.
Oh, I don't remember that. I would have said no to that. I would have disqualified.
I handled that on the back. I said, no problem.
You
They're yours. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You want to be Santa Claus, be Santa Claus.
Right. You want to take any comments about the editorial we just did, or you want to just go right into the topics of the day?
Did you see any?
Well, there was a lot of them. I didn't read them.
Well, what do you think I was doing?
You had one job. You were doing it.
Geez, knock it off. Oh, yeah. It's a good question whether people will pay for streaming. You know what? I think, okay, so they've always had an option to watch the show on Fox for people that have cable, more or less.
Right.
So there's always going to be someone that says, I don't have cable, I don't have Fox Sports, how do I watch it? Go to B-dubs, go to a sports bar, tell them to turn on Fox Sports. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
But you always had an option to watch it on TV up until now, which is now we're not sure. They said they're negotiating with everybody, so let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they are trying to work a TV deal first. That is their first priority, to renegotiate with Fox and get another deal.
Yeah.
If that does not happen and there is only streaming, so you can only watch bowling on streaming and that is it, no other option, are you going to pay for the service? How much is professional bowling going to be worth to you to pay 10, 15, 20 bucks a month to watch it? Is that going to be the new normal? And I don't know the answer.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think network TV is off the table.
You think it's not even going to happen?
And I'm not saying, well, I'm going to say I don't think it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think that by now that would have been announced.
Mm-hmm.
If it was CBS or NBC or ABC or
what if
ESPN or
what if they just raised sanction dues to like $40 and then that gave you access to watching the streaming service?
Well, how would that be? Well, why would the USBC do that? They would lose membership.
They're talking to everybody, they said.
Yeah, but they would lose membership. Wouldn't members go, I'm not gonna sanction? That would be perfect. That would be a double jeopardy. They would lose TV and members and USBC would lose sanction bowlers. That's not gonna happen. The only way that could happen, and this probably would be a good opportunity, in my opinion, is USBC buys the PBA.
Mm-hmm.
And then they include that as an option in your dues. For an additional $10,
mm-hmm.
you can get the streaming service
per month or total for the year.
Total. If you got $1 million bowlers,
do they? Is that the number?
I think it's close to $1 million.
So they would have $10 million that went into the streaming fund, which is probably way more than Bowl TV is getting right now.
And it's way really, it's way more than the PBA is getting right now for whatever they're doing,
mm-hmm.
and then that money goes into the prize fund.
Good.
And pays for the streaming.
Yeah, I don't know
that. Yeah. So I'm just saying there's an opportunity, but I don't think in the current ownership that the PBA matters. I don't think Bolero, let's face it, Bolero bought the TV, bought PBA for the TV.
So what happens when there's no TV?
Exactly.
Why don't you buy the PBA?
I can't. I don't have any money left. We gave away too many 3-ball arsenals. But you have to understand.
What if we did like a GoFundMe? I mean, we got some loyal followers. Maybe they'll donate.
Each person send me $2 and we'll buy the PBA. No, but think about what you just said, Nick. That's true.
Robocaller, everybody in the.
What if there's no TV?
Yeah, what if?
What value does that have to Bolero? They don't need that aggravation, that cooperation. It's minute. It's that big compared to their cooperation. And they're not getting the TV exposure, which was free to them to have it, right? Mm-hmm. Why would you do that?
Well, so does it become, can't negotiate it, then it becomes more of an expense and becomes a line item.
That's right.
On a sheet.
Which is a headache. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So why do they do it? So maybe
this line item. This line item's not making any money. It's the hardest to deal with.
That's exactly right.
The players like to cry a lot.
Exactly. And
especially the ones that are just hanging on by a thread that shouldn't be out there anymore.
That was a near retirement people. Well, what happens then? Do they turn around and say, listen, we're going to sell it? Somebody buys it? And USBC is the perfect opportunity. They already have an organization with the women's tour, and they can probably figure something out.
Well, if the executives are watching and the PBA goes for sale, my official bid starts right here.
You got $100?
$100. My opening bid. Do you want to match that, Phil?
You know what? Here's what happened today. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened today.
I will buy the PBA. There is my first $100 offer.
I had cash in my pocket today.
So
I get ready to leave the house. I get ready to leave the house. I had a couple of $100, but $100 bills. And I said, I'm going to get a haircut.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave the $100 bills at home. I'm going to stop at the ATM, and I'm going to get $100 in cash. So I have money to get a haircut and small bills. I got out my block, and I made a left instead of a right, which is left going towards the office. And I said, I forgot to go to the bank. You know what? I'll just use my debit card, which I never do, to pay for my haircut, right? I said, now I have no cash. I got like $20 in my pocket.
Maybe. Damn.
Yeah.
How much you tip your bartender? Not your bartender, sorry. Your hair
I
barber.
Gave him $10.
Your baba.
My baba. I gave him $10.
$10. How much your haircut cost?
$40.
$40 to cut your hair?
If you don't want to know, don't ask.
I did want to know. I just want to make fun of it now. Does that include like a neck razor? Does that include like a hot towel treatment?
I have $11 in my pocket because of that. I made the wrong turn.
$11.
Now I have cash at home, but I have $11.
Everybody,
if anybody wants to lend me money, this is a good time.
Everybody's putting in money right now for to buy the PBA.
Buy the PBA. I wonder if we can do it as a group. We call it the Possession versus Reality
Tour.
PBA Professional Bowlers Tour.
Perfect.
Sponsored by
Clear Magic.
Clear Magic. This plant-based ball cleaner.
Which you can win on the prize wheel today. Not the prize wheel, but the prize bingo.
Let's give away another prize.
You want to give away another prize?
Yeah, let's get another prize.
All right, hold on. Let me get this in here. Let's
and then we'll move on to the topics of the day.
All right. Phil's
I'm having fun with this one today.
I know. See, the bingo wheel's awesome.
The bingo bowl. The bingo bowl.
Let's get that there. All right. Let me get the screen up here so that people can see me and not see you as much. All right. We got another winner. Daniel Callahan. Are you here? Daniel Callahan.
Daniel Callahan.
I don't know if that's going to be a YouTube name or a whatever.
I'll get my clock going. Start 30 seconds.
Yeah, it just started at 3:40 on the nose, so you got 60 seconds. What do you got here? Daniel Callahan, not to be confused with Tommy Callahan from Callahan Auto Parts, brake pads.
I could see.
So someone from Whirlpool Realty is saying here, Daniel Callahan. All right, if that's you, Daniel Callahan, you got some numbers in your email. Please verify the numbers in your email.
2.
I got the same combination on my luggage. So yeah, If that's
3.
you, Daniel Callahan
5.
from the Realty. Come on. Let me know your numbers in your email.
Daniel.
Dum, dum, dum. Don't type it wrong. We're going to move on.
We're going to move on, Daniel.
Where are you at? Come on, type it in there.
Long. Can't we give away too many prizes if you guys take too long?
Man, Phil's not going to want to give away any more prizes.
No, I'm not going to waste time giving away chamois. All right.
Where are you at?
Daniel, I think you're going to be done.
Right. Man. Hold on. I'll just give him 10 more seconds. Where are you at? We asked for your... Daniel. No email yet. All right, that's not you. I asked for the email number in your email.
That wasn't him.
You have numbers in your email. Verify what the numbers are if you want me to draw you something on there. Yes.
Well, that wasn't him?
I don't know. He said no email yet. I'm not emailing you. I need to know the numbers in your email that you signed up with. And then, and only then, will we move on.
All right. We're going to move on in 5 seconds.
All right. He's got it right. Okay, cool.
All right, Daniel. Now, was that so hard?
Was that so hard? I thought I was saying it right. All right, here we go.
Give it a twirl.
You want it? Hold on, let me cover the mic so it's not as loud for you.
That's very loud. All right, drop it in. There's the winner. Is what number?
11.
Grip sack.
Do you want to keep the grip sack?
You know what we might have to do is not have the options on this one. We give away the free stuff during the show. Maybe on the grand drawing at the end of the show.
What do you mean? Do you want to keep the grip sack? Oh, you don't want to have the go backs? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, what's going to be the grand? He's going to say roll again. All right, here we go. We're going to roll again.
Right.
58. That
58's a good one.
Is
ball
cup. That's what you're getting. Ooh, ball cup.
You're getting a ball cup.
58.
Congratulations, Danny.
All right, so let's get this out of here.
All right, so let's talk about today's show. We have some items that we listed. Actually, Nick listed. I didn't do anything.
I do everything.
Some of the high points of the shows, the 100 shows that we had, and what did you find to be some of the most interesting things that we've learned?
Well, we learned a lot of things along the way, didn't we, Phil?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we did. We did.
We learned how, we get the base of the show covered. When we first started, we didn't really know what we were doing. We had like 3 different topics per week,
right?
Trying to come up with stuff. That was our main thing. Was like, oh, what are we going to talk about every week? Can we do this? Because this used to be just a radical podcast with you on it, right? And we used to just do it once a month, usually, where you talk about new product or just whatever you wanted to talk about.
Yep.
And then slowly but surely, you started bringing me on the show on the side. Sidekick.
It was a great day, I meant to say.
Well, I remember back then, it's like you could barely muster like 200 viewers at tops, 100, 150.
You brought everybody with you.
Yeah.
Now look at you.
But we kind of learned how to do our show on the fly, how this was all going to work, how the interaction was going to work, the flow of it, the segments that kind of were created naturally throughout time, with the giveaways and stuff like that, with the segments, the bowling, the news, the top 5, all these things just kind of started over time. They weren't there from the beginning. Like the garbage man, for instance, that used to be a recurring segment. What time?
Yeah.
People, before we could even say hello, people were putting in the time that they thought the garbage truck was going to get there.
Yeah, but you screwed that up, by the way.
Didn't screw nothing up.
Yeah, you did. You screwed that up. It used to be Tuesdays, and then you decided we had to do it on Wednesday, and the garbage truck doesn't come on Wednesday.
It comes there a fair amount.
Yeah, not like regular. Every Tuesday, the garbage truck's here.
Yeah.
So,
but the other things we learn is being number one. It was such an uphill battle, for our time slot and our day.
Right.
Especially
I got to tell you one thing real quick. Where do you think we really fit in the bowling world podcasts? And I know you would know better than I, because you probably look at other people's podcasts or see what their viewerships are.
I drop in and I see, but I think the people in the chat would be able to tell us better, because honestly, we don't know where we rank. We don't pay attention.
Keep saying we're number one at 3:00 on a Wednesday.
Well, I mean, we are, because I don't know of any other bowling podcast on Wednesday.
That's why we are.
That's the joke. That's the whole joke.
Right.
Is there's nobody else at 3 p.m. Eastern time on a Wednesday. You know, I went on another podcast, not on the show, but just in the chat one time. With the sweep the rack guys, and I went in there, and I think they were on like a Sunday night or something. You know, they I think they bounce around on their times. And I asked them, I was like, "Hey, is this the #1 rated podcast on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern?" And the joke just went right over their head.
They missed that joke.
Yeah, they missed.
And they were on prime time. Imagine how we would do if we were on at 7:00 on a Monday night or Sunday night, when people are sitting around saying, "Man, I wish the podcast was on."
I think we got the best time slot, because you pretty much have everybody during work hours. So all you guys working, we're not going to narc on you, you know, because snitches get stitches.
Snitches get stitches.
But, you know, I think having the time slot that we're at, being consistent with it, you know, so when we jump around, we know it kind of hurts us a little bit, but it was, no, I don't think we would get more viewers if we were on prime time on the weekend.
Right.
I think they'd have other options. They had family things going on. Yeah. I don't think so.
But I don't know how we could stack up against other podcasts, and as far as content or entertainment. But anyway, I mean, we're happy to be where we are right now, and we do very well. You know, we get several hundred people every time that we're on, and I think by the end of the week we get several thousand views.
Yeah, we got 397 people watching right now between YouTube and Facebook.
Let's call it 400.
If we, just over 400 now, 403.
Yeah,
we've never hit. I don't think we've ever hit 500.
We had 480 once, I believe.
I think we got up almost there, but I think this is the show we're going to do it on. I think we're going to hit 500. We're giving away stuff left and right. We've already given away 2 things, and if you don't know what we're talking about, it's because you got here late.
Get in the Woo Box.
I'm going to post the Woo Box again, because you only have 11 minutes and change to get your entry in. But yeah, people say we give stuff away. You're the best. You're #1. Hey.
And we believe it.
Yeah, we bought our fans.
Exactly.
We bought our stature.
Yeah.
We bought our street cred. You know, to be able to have a warehouse behind us that we can just ship stuff from. I just put a couple of types into a computer, and
there it goes.
Out comes prizes.
And there it goes. So let's say one of the other things that I think I've learned is that we have very loyal fans.
That is true. We have a lot of loyal fans. We see them here week in, week out.
Pre-stream gang has taken on a life of its own.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's pretty cool.
People that don't know what that is, it's all on YouTube. So YouTube, you're allowed to get in there early and chat before the stream goes live, before our podcast goes live. And that's everybody that's kind of waiting on us to go. They're usually yelling at us if we start 30 seconds late, saying, "Oh, we only have one job."
And it's my fault because my internet froze. I didn't pay the mouse for spin the wheel. You know, so that's pretty cool. I always look at that ahead of time and see who's in there and who's making noise before we even turn on the show. You know, so the fan loyalty is incredible. I get people come up to me a lot, you know, if I'm at a bowling center, which I am at, and if I travel around the country, people go, they always point to me and go, "You nice." No, I get that a lot. I'm not him. You know, and a lot of people ask me when will I find.
Hey, you want to turn that off?
I did. I don't know what that was. Wow. People ask me when I'm going to get another co-host. When we offered that, I tell you, it was amazing. When I even said we're taking applications, I had people apply, which I thought itself was.
I don't know if your stream is sucking right now, but I can. You're breaking up like you're in a bad service area. But don't touch anything. I want to ask the chat: is our stream fine right now, or is Phil breaking in and out? Because on my end, Phil's breaking in and out. Don't know. But don't change anything, please. I don't want to lose you on the show.
Not touching a thing.
Don't do anything.
So, there we go. So that was the thing, and we appreciate that. The company has grown because of that. So 100, I think it's pretty good feather in our cap that we lasted this long. And you know what? It's not easy to do the show every week because, aside from this, we have real jobs.
Yeah, and this has become a very fun part of my job. With the prep.
Yeah, me too.
Beforehand, and getting in here before, and then just making sure everything works. Everything. We got our topic. We got our top 5. We got the giveaway promotion loaded. We got all the assets we need.
Yeah.
My
job is a lot easier. I just go look for the news. I go right to the PBA website, and I got the news for the week.
And if that's dry, then you're like, I don't think we have any news this week.
I'm going to. This is going to be an interesting week. Next week after next, I'm going to the USBC Hall of Fame dinner because my buddy Keith Hamilton, my dear friend Keith, is going into the USBC Hall of Fame.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Ironically enough, on that same evening, Randy Peterson is going in, and so is Tom Clark.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm not sure I'm going to get a lot of accolades from Tom for being there. Thank you for coming, because I'm going for Keith.
Do you think Tom would join our show? Do you think he'd come as a guest?
I can ask him.
I mean, who would want to see us talk to the commissioner of the PBA Tour? I mean, anybody? Raise your hands.
My hands.
I mean, I would. I would love to talk to anybody from the PBA.
I don't think you're in Tom's graces right now, Nick.
What did I do?
That's what he told me. He said to me, I have no problem with you. It's that other guy.
When was the last time you even saw Tom?
Bowl Expo last year. That's when he told me that.
That's when you said that, right? Yeah. And he said I don't want to talk about podcasts. Or I don't want to.
He brought that up in his speech.
Yeah.
at the convention, he said, there's 5 things I don't want to talk about. One of them was urethane. The other was Phil Cardinelli's Perception versus Reality podcast. And then I said to him afterwards, why, are you offended by that? He goes, I have no problem with what you say. It's the other guy.
He did not say that.
I swear he said that.
You're blowing steam right now.
There's no way. That was the absolute truth that he said that.
The other guy, I'm offended now.
Well, you should be. I'd be offended if I were you.
So I hope you're watching, Tom, because you're going to get a call from your boy, McPhilly C here.
I'm going to invite you on the show. Weeks.
Well, then we should send out a formal invite.
You think I can expense the drink that I have to buy him?
I mean, just why not? If you can't expense that, then
anyway. What else? What else you got for why we are what we learned?
Yeah. Getting recognized. You get recognized in bowling alleys. I get recognized at Texas Roadhouse. We're not the same.
No. Oh, that guy's not Olive Garden.
It's funny though, you'd just be eating your steak and having a good time, and someone turns around and looks at you and then looks at you again, and then you walk by to go to the bathroom and say, hey, love your channel, love what you're doing on the podcast.
That, right? Yeah.
It's like, hey, thanks, man. And I'm like, what are you eating? And he's like, oh, ribeye. I was like, how'd you order that? And he's like, oh, medium rare. I was like, all right, we could be friends.
I get people, I'll be sitting at the bowling center. And we went to Vegas a couple of weeks ago to bowl that tournament. I'm sitting there and the guy's walking, he's looking at me. And as he's looking at me, he's staring, I go like this.
No records, Artie. No records.
No records. The other thing that is interesting about the podcast is it started out, as you said earlier, as a monthly. Once a month we did it. It was pretty cool. Then it became a weekly, which added a lot of work. Then it became an expensive weekly.
Once we're like, you know what? We should add something to the show.
Yeah, let's give away something.
Yeah, but before we were just doing the Woo Box. We put the Woo Box in, and you draw a name. Boring, right?
Yeah.
Boring. No. Yeah. Then I'm like, you know what? Why don't we get a prize wheel? So I hopped on Amazon, and I was like, you know what? I want to get a prize wheel. I'm going to bring this thing up again because this thing's cool. And, we put it up there, and I was like, you know what? What if we had like a grand prize on there? What if we had a spot? I would make my own custom spot that would be improbable. Even.
Look at the size of it. It's like 1/32 of the size.
Like click
of that.
And then out. Click out. Click out.
Yeah. There's no lag time.
No. But what we found, what was happening is it gets to this spot and it kind of like tethers, or it hangs up between the two because they're too close together.
No, the magnet. I bet you if we made it wider, it would come in less.
Oh, yeah, the weight on the bottom. That's right.
Yeah, the weight on the bottom is what does it.
Should we do another practice spin?
Go ahead.
Just for old time's sake?
Yeah, don't even tell me that's going to happen again. There it is.
Oh, see, triple roll. I'm saving you so much money.
This is so expensive. Anyway.
Gosh, that's like an $800 roller.
I know it. And the prizes are fun. We know we enjoy giving them away. We have a great time doing it. As you can tell, I think you can tell, Nick and I have a good time doing it.
Yeah, regardless of what Phil says, he actually likes me and we're friends, so that's why we get along so well. And you okay? Did you freeze? Are you good? Is your internet okay?
No, we do get along well. So anyhow, we love it. And we love the fans. I mean, we love you guys in participating, and the comments are great.
Yeah.
And you know what? At the end of the show, I always go back and read every comment. I really do. Once we log off, I read every comment. And I did, I don't answer them all. A lot of, the problem is I can't answer the ones on YouTube. I don't know how to do that. So
you don't know how to do that. Yeah. But you do go back and you read them all because you don't have a life. So
that's right.
And the other thing is
I'll be up in Muskegon, so we can.
Right. The other thing is why we would decided to go weekly with the show, with the podcast was, we used to be monthly, right? But Phil would call me every single day to talk about this or that, bowling this. Hey, I need some ball names. What do you think about this? Do you see what happened in the bowling today? I was like, Phil, why don't we get paid for this? Why don't we do it for the show? Because I think this would be entertaining. We obviously talk for a long time, so why don't we do it on the record? We can have our talk. So we basically just turned our phone calls every day, which we still talk every day.
We do.
Into a weekly show. So
and here we are.
This is how we banter. Still a lot of movie lines, the same movies over and over again. Casino, Moneyball, Wolf of Wall Street.
10 Commandments sometimes. How's your Messiah now?
Jeez.
All right, let's do the top 17 or whatever you got.
All right, let's do that. Let's add it to the stage. Bam. There it is. The top 7 memorable moments in our podcast history. If you have a memorable moment, if you've been here since the beginning, there's been some fun times, and they're never usually scripted. It's usually just something that happens or something that just kind of made its way onto the show and became folklore at that point. Folklore turned to legend, all that stuff. But these are the 7 most memorable, at least to us. We wanted to give the extra credit here, 7 instead of 5. So, you with me, Phil?
I'm with you.
All right, number 7, your favorite.
So this was the best one. I mean, it's still funny as hell. We had Bobby Brust, who runs the Brunswick Hammer 7-brand booth out at the Nationals. And we said, what would be great? Let's have Bobby on. He can give us insight into what's going on at Nationals.
Yeah. He was one of the first guests, I believe.
That's exactly right. He was. Johnny Petraglia might have been the first, but he was one of the first, right?
Yeah.
But anyhow, so Bobby, who's probably as technically advanced as I am,
which we'll talk about more in a minute.
Yeah, exactly. So Bobby gets on, and the Wi-Fi is terrible at the stadium, and we didn't realize it was that bad. So he thinks that if he moves around in the booth, the Wi-Fi is going to get better.
Yeah.
So every time he would get knocked off because there was a bad connection, he would go to a different spot. And at one point, he was looking through the rack of bowling balls in the back with the computer held up on the other side of it because he thought the signal was better. So it was more like a Bobby, was like more like Where's Waldo. And but he did help us. He told us a lot about what was being used and where. we'd love to do it again, but we have the fear of the Where's Waldo.
Yeah. So we always have to test now. We didn't test it, and that was the problem.
And we learned from that.
We learned from that.
We learned that testing is important.
Hey, I got great news, Phil. Normally, the Woo Box is done at 4 o'clock my time. I have extended it by 20 minutes for everybody that might just be tuning in, since we're giving away so much stuff today. And we're going to do more giveaways as we approach the end of the show. But I wanted to extend the Woo Box for another 20 minutes. You have until 4:20 Eastern to get your entries in. So good luck.
Perfect. Do it again.
Do it. All right. Number 6. Which might be our most infamous episode with the purple hammer testing.
Started it all for us. I think that was the number 1 episode of the year. We had people commenting. We had people that had no right commenting. We had people that were in their mind scientists commenting. It was great. And all we did was post a scientific method of testing. Because you know what? And Nick is smart. I mean, he knows more about. Yeah, right. Nick knows more about this than I do. But you put something out on the internet, it's out there. So don't go putting something out if you don't know what you're talking about. So what did we do? We got scientists, people with science degrees.
Yep.
We had chemists.
Yep.
With chemistry degrees, and we had technicians.
Yeah.
And we put the test together based on the tried and true scientific method. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's a scientific method. It's the way you do a test. You limit the variables and you do the test. And we did that. And we did it side by side. And we still had people dispute it. And we had people in the bowling world dispute it because they didn't want to hear the truth. And you always know there's a bad answer when, why did you ban the purple ham? And the answer is because.
Because it got soft.
Because it got soft.
That's what they said.
No, it didn't. It read soft. It didn't get soft. It got soft.
Your equipment sucks. Your testing method sucks.
Your testing method sucks. You're using archaic testing methods. So anyway, that was one of our best episodes. It was
episode 17.
Episode 17.
I think I remember that one.
Yes.
Yeah, we got mentioned on other podcasts. We got called out for being...
got called out. People said it was the 45 minutes they're never going to see in their life. How about you? Maybe if you had a life, you would have learned. But anyway.
Which I find rude because I think that show was an hour and 15 minutes long. So.
Well, yeah, but they like the other half hour.
Oh, okay. That's why. Because they got in for the Woo Box and they're trying to win.
And they're trying to win a ball.
All right. But yeah, that also spun the Post Turtles, which is...
oh, my God. Yes, it is.
That's one of your favorites, isn't it?
It is.
Where's that at? Here it
Post
is.
Turtle. There it is. So personal.
It's like, they didn't get up there by themselves. They don't belong up there. They don't know what to do while they're up there. And you just wonder what kind of dummy put them up there to begin with. Post Turtles.
That's it.
Oh, how could we forget this?
Can't
now
forget
you see
that.
it every time you enter the Woo
Box.
Box.
The news. That's right, on the news.
For those that don't know what they're talking about, there it is.
There it is. That's it.
Snack
we couldn't
attack.
come up with another name for a sneak attack, so we named it Snack Attack.
Well, I think I don't know. Did it slip or you tried to say sneak attack and you said snack attack?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. It was supposed to be sneak attack. I said snack attack.
Well, you accidentally, back in the old days of just your streams, you gave up the ball name on accident.
I did.
Middle of the show. And I looked at you. I was like, oh, boy. And then you realized, and we deleted the show. But that was when the counterattack, I think, was coming out.
That was the counterattack. Right, exactly.
You had one job, really.
Yeah.
Number 4. Yeah, we talked about this. We touched on this, but the garbage truck was almost like clockwork.
People were bidding on it. Remember how the people in the pre-stream chat would put in times before the show even started. I have 3:46. I have 2:47. So.
That's a funny comment. This is why Clark doesn't like Nick.
I said that. See, it's not me.
If I joined the PBA again, do you think I'd have fines waiting for me?
I don't think they would let you. I don't think they'll let you join. I think you'd be banned for life.
No.
All right, try it.
All right, I'll try it. I mean, it's a lucrative club. I don't know if I'll have the accolades to get in.
Well, that's true. You got to get somebody to sign for you. Think you know anybody that would endorse your application?
Yeah, I could get a signature. I think I would just say, "Hey, I need you to vouch for me. Otherwise, we're not going to."
Here's what I would do. I would file it and get people like Amaletto and Johnny to sign it.
There you go.
Like
get just all Hall of Famers. Get our Legends of Brunswick to sign it.
All the Legends of Brunswick to sign it for you, and see if they'll accept it.
See if that's all right. It's like, hey, I got over 100 titles here. Is this okay? Is this good enough?
It's okay. Yeah, they vouch for me.
They vouch for me.
Not you, Nick.
Put Nick on the senior tour. That's 5.5 more years.
Yeah, he's going to go too. I know he is.
I think I would have a very good senior tour experience because
I think you should do it.
I think I'll be in better shape at 50 than some of the other people. So I think I have a chance.
Why don't you go now and lie about your age?
I could.
Integrity, I'm telling you.
I'll wear one of those shirts.
Okay.
I made it at the mall for $7.50.
The leg lamp Santa. We have no idea where it came from. I did some investigating and I didn't pursue it any further. I actually called up the company.
You called up the company and said, "Who ordered this?" They stonewalled you.
No, they said I had to call back, and I just didn't because I couldn't.
Yeah, sure they did. Yeah. Said, "Sir, for the 5th time, leave us alone."
Just tell me the zip code it came from.
It came from the place, like it came from Ohio.
Where the order came from. Just tell
Ohio.
Me
it came from the
yeah, I know where it came from. Outside of Cleveland. In Cleveland.
Cleveland. Yep. All right. Number 2.
The
wheel.
Episode 29.
29.
17 and 29. Those are the 2 big episodes.
We spun it more than 70 times because we gave it a practice spin. We gave it a couple spins. We gave away multiple winners.
Maybe the wheel needs an alignment. You know how your car's got to go in every once in a while for a tune-up? Maybe it's got to go to a wheel factory.
No, my car does not have to go for a tune-up. No, fun thing is in the mail today, I got a coupon for a Valvoline oil change at the new place in town. I was like, wow, just in time.
You know what you should do? You should bring the car there.
Bring the car in?
Yeah, pull it up over the thing and hand the guy the car.
It's like, hey, can I do both of them now?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's funny.
It is.
Number 1. Everybody knows what number 1's going to be, right?
Memorable moment. Go ahead.
Does anybody know what number 1's going to be?
I think they do.
I mean, it's only been said 500 times on this show.
Maybe more than that.
It's usually directed at me, but I usually direct it to you.
I know
because you don't know what you're doing, but you had one job.
You had one job.
I'm gonna make this shirt.
I'm
gonna make this shirt for you. I'm gonna put it on the the store.
Yeah, put it on like this. I'll wear it.
One job. Yeah, I'll get it done.
I'll wear it. Yeah, you had one job.
That's it.
So that's our top 5, 7 of the PBA. Let's go. Do we cover all the topics? You can do it. Let's give us something away again. Then we'll see if we have any good questions or comments, and then we'll give away one more prize.
Yeah, so we'll do a total of 4. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, 4 is good for today. 1 for every 25 shows.
All right, we're gonna pick another winner.
Let's. I was gonna say we can't divide it into 1 and every 33 and a third shows. So.
All right, Sean Bowler, Boller, Boller, Sean Baller. Bowler.
Sean, you have 60 seconds.
60 seconds, Sean.
60.
Baller.
How many people are watching, by the way?
410.
How
Sean
many people
Baller. I don't know. It's on another screen.
Oh.
Where are you at, Sean?
Sean, you got
give away something.
You got 40 seconds, Sean. Then we're moving on from you. Done with that guy.
Baller.
Done with that guy.
Sean Baller. Where are you at, Sean? Are you watching? Are you in? Where are you at?
Sean. You're not putting the names up on the bottom, so people don't know if it's them. You might be pronouncing the name wrong.
I just spelled it out. Boller.
How
much more time they got? How much time?
12
seconds?
Yes. 10.
Oh man, Sean, we're just gonna move on, buddy.
7, 5, 3, 2, 1. Done. Next.
Done. Sorry.
Sorry,
yeah,
Sean.
it takes too much time to put the thing up there. You're having. Here we go.
All right.
Pick another one. Oh, I just saw him come up in the chat. Tito Burrito. That's a great name for a YouTuber. I see you in there. I can see you and you're hungry. Pick a burrito. That's funny. That's what he just said like a minute ago. That's great. Tito Burrito, it did come up. That's hilarious. You're there. All right. Well, Tito Burrito, I see you. And we're going to do the usual. Let me cover the mic.
So that was Sean Ball as Tito Burrito?
No. Tito Burrito is Tito Burrito. See him in the chat?
No. So that's who you picked?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was quick.
Tito Burrito. That's the name that came up.
Got it. And he's in.
He's in.
All right, Tito.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. 69. That is Sia AirPad kit. That's a good.
Oh, that's a good prize. That's prize of the day.
69. Do you want the Sia AirPad kit? That's going to be grip or the pads from 500 all the way up to 4,000. Oh, he's in. He's taking it. Nice. Good pick there, buddy. That's a good one.
Tito Burrito.
People usually see like, oh, Sia AirPads. That's boring. It's like, no, there's a lot of pads in that kit.
And they're expensive.
Yeah, so that's a dang good prize. Good job picking that and keeping that.
That's right. Now you have your own pads. Now, if you only had your own bowling ball, it'd be great.
Right on. All right, so let me jot that down. Tito
Burrito
pads. Cool.
Good deal for Tito. All right.
What else
I'm looking
we got?
for some comments. I don't have anything else. I'm looking at comments before we do one more giveaway. Let's see. Not a lot of comments. A lot of them saying that, about the PBA. They should find something else to do for a living.
Like what? Hey, bowling's just not your forte. Maybe you
guys are in the wrong business.
Maybe you should take up golf.
Right? Yeah. I'm trying to ruin that. I'm trying. All right.
You know what else we learned over this time?
What?
That for you especially, technology is really, really hard.
No, it's not.
So from the very beginning,
Yeah.
You could not figure out your microphone. You couldn't figure out plugging it in to your computer and getting it to work. I literally plugged mine in and it worked. So
was it my fault that I did that and it didn't work? Or was it the computer's fault?
That was your fault.
How?
Because you couldn't work the computer properly.
The instructions said, take out of the box, connect it, plug this in, and hit install. I did that. It didn't work.
Don't get me started on your Wi-Fi issues.
A lot of that's not my problem.
Here we go.
The computer is bad when it comes to even the other day, I turned it on. I was trying to watch something. And I had no sound. I had to reboot the computer, and then it came out.
Accountability at your age, I figure you would have taken on by now. You would have had some accountability.
If I were wrong ever, I would admit it.
But you're not.
No. How can I be? I invented that.
You never are wrong, ever.
No, I could be slightly incorrect, but it's not wrong.
You never lie. You just believe. You just tell invalid truths. You don't lie.
All right.
What do you want to do?
I'm going to wrap this show up with one more prize.
Oh my gosh, you're killing me here with these prizes.
Why, is that too heavy?
No.
And we'll see. We'll decide next week what we want to do. We may.
I like the bingo wheel. I like the.
I know you do. I know
the
you
bingo
do.
cage.
I like giving away more stuff during the show too.
It's fun. Yeah, I mean, would you rather give away 3 chamois or 3-ball arsenal? I
like giving away 3 chamois, 2 ball cups, and a partridge in a pear tree. I'm ready. And Sea AirPads. So it's good. Maybe number 75 will pop up right now. You know
what we should do? We should get another wheel that has like only 5 spots on it, and that will correlate how many bingo balls the winner will get
Oh.
And they can pick the best out of those 5 or something.
You want to make this like a game show?
It could be really fun, right? Like
we
we're only gonna have
show.
one winner a week. I'm saying one winner.
Oh,
I
like that.
I
like that. We'll do that. Yeah. 1 through 5.
So I got to get a new wheel in here. It's 1 through 5.
Well, not a wheel. You just got to just take those things off and make bigger placards, don't you? Or it's a wheel. It's the wheel that dictated that. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
It's got to be. Oh, I don't know. We'll see.
That's a good idea. 1 through 5.
And that's how many options?
And there's nothing else. The 5 come up, and
you get to pick. And you get the not all 5. You don't get to keep all 5.
No,
you get to pick one of the 5.
One out of the 5.
So
unless you get 5 grip sacks.
So we'll do it. We pull them one at a time, and you got to throw it away or keep it, and that's how it's worked. You don't get to pick all 5, and then
choose.
So if they get say like
the last one is you already picked or you kept going.
That's funny.
That's good. It's like a Secret Santa thing. The guy at the end gets the whatever he's got. That's the end of it.
The
I like
white elephant, right? Something like that.
That's what it is.
What
white elephant.
Yeah.
I like that. That's good.
All right.
Let's pick somebody else. Let me get my clock.
Let me get the winner here. Pick it.
Let me get my clock. I'm ready.
Is a name I'm going to butcher. Let me tell you that much.
That's why you should put it up on the bottom rather than butcher it.
No. Jeff Wingbermuley. Wingbermuley. Did I get it right? Jeff Wingbermuley?
We'll never know. We may never know.
Jeff Wingbermuley. You're on the clock. Now. 60 seconds now. Jeff Wingbermuley.
Wingber?
Might be Mule. I don't know. Jeff Wingbermule? I don't know. Hey, what do you know? He's right here. See? Look at that. Did I say it right? Did I get it right?
You did. You said it right.
I mean, he answered.
It's our show. You said it right.
Wow. Add a baby eats a boy. Remember that commercial?
No.
Oh, when I think it was Snickers, something like that, or something about. I don't remember what commercial that was, but the call that I don't know what it was. They're calling someone from the hospital because they just had a baby, but they didn't want to pay for the call, so they call collect.
Oh, I do remember that. Yes, I do.
Add a baby, Bob. Add a baby eats a boy.
And then eat the boy.
Long distance phone calls. Yeah. AT&T. That's so funny.
I forgot to tell you. I think I'm going to go to Rome next week.
Rome?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're having Pope tryouts.
Oh yeah. Good luck with that. I mean, do you have to have a certain percentage of?
I don't know. It's an open tryout.
I mean, it worked. I worked for the Eagles back in 1970 something.
It's an open tryout. I was an altar boy when I was a kid. So
nice. All right. Well, we didn't forget about you there, Jeff. We're gonna still do this. So you know the drill. Ready? I really hope this is 75.
Yeah, I know what you hope.
12.
12. What is 12? We don't have a wheel. That's got to be grip sack.
Oh, yeah, sorry. That's
grip sack.
Grip sack. We got to add this to the stage. Grip sack.
There you go. Grip sack.
I'm guessing
I'm guessing no.
Mr. Jeff W. for short.
I'm guessing no.
Does not want the grip sack.
No, I'm no.
Are we going to do the triple grip sack if he gets grip sack 3 times?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Jeff, do you want the grip sack? Probably not.
He said
right?
no. You don't want it.
Where'd he say it? I don't think
he didn't say it.
We're just going to say it for him.
I think we lost him.
Did we? He's just going to get the grip sack now. No, re-roll sounds fun. All right. Here comes the cage. Come on, 75.
And there it is. Oh, that looks like 75.
31. That is
31 is the chamois. So we got the chamois for you, Jeff.
Which is all leather. It's really nice.
It's an all leather chamois. It is really nice. Unfortunately, for the group, we didn't give away anything expensive today. We're going to keep modifying the wheel. We're going to come up with different things every week.
Mm-hmm.
We want to keep you on your toes. So we hope you all
we might
enjoyed
modify the wheel. We might do something different.
Yeah,
we might repurpose the wheel. We might until we come up with that, just stick with the bingo thing for a little while. I think the spinning the
I like that.
1 to 5 balls, so they have a chance at more options. Would be kind of fun.
Yeah. Pick or go on.
Do you want to keep it?
Or you want to go on?
Throw it away.
Yep, exactly.
So
all right.
Hey,
well,
I think we did good on our 100th episode. I think we had a great show.
Yeah, it was fun.
Good stuff to talk about. We had a new game with bingo.
Yep.
And we got 100 in the books. I think it's fantastic.
Now on to the next 100. It'll be
I mean, our next. I mean,
2 years from now.
It's going to be like 2 years because we don't do the show every week because somebody.
No, I'm going to miss a week too coming up.
This one right here is always out.
I'm going to miss one coming up. I'm going to Vegas for the PBA USBC Hall of Fame. And I don't know if I can do it that Wednesday or not.
Is that next week?
No, it's the week of the. Hold on.
May 5th?
I'll tell you right now.
Ish?
The 7th, yeah. The 7th.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'll be up by you the 14th.
Yeah, okay. Excellent.
Yeah. So the 7th may be the week we miss. I don't know if I could wing it. I got some stuff going on during the day. So with the time difference and all, might be a problem. So we'll see.
Okay. Well.
All right.
Here's to 100 episodes in the books.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for keeping us going for 100 episodes. We enjoy being here with you, and we really appreciate your support.
And Phil will talk to the commissioner to see if we can get him on the show.
I can do that. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know. We'll see.
I'll play nice.
Maybe he'll approach me if he's watching. Say, I'd like to be on that show.
We don't get a lot of people that do that, do they?
No.
No one's dying to be on this show.
We got some balls coming out in June. I guess we got to have CV Fresh on the show soon.
Oh yeah, okay, that sounds good.
You got to look at the schedule on the ball launches.
You look at the schedule.
You look at the schedule. You got one job.
You're at your desk. I'm in the studio right now.
I don't have it in front of me.
Oh,
so we'll see you guys.
I see. You work at the excuse factory there.
I do. Welcome to the excuse factory.
Churning them out. All right, everybody. Take care.
I'll see you when I look at you.
All the winners, I will email you.
That's right.
Soon. How about that?
Maybe we should keep the balls out of the thing every week.
Nah, we're going to put them back in. And then eventually someone's going to win the 3-baller small and all the good stuff.
That's right.
That'd be kind of fun.
It would, wouldn't it?
I would lose these bingo balls. There'd be no doubt in my mind.
I know you would. Yeah, exactly.
So, all right.
All right. I'll see you.
Take care, everybody.